Good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the round table. Of course, my intention was to say Happy Independence Day, Nigeria, though it was yesterday, but all I care was still in the spirit of Independence Day celebration. And hey, do not mind that I'm not wearing green. In my heart is painted the green color because indeed I am a patriotic Nigerian. One of the biggest call of our president Bola Tinubu to us yesterday while he gave his speech. My name is Melanie Ishola, and joining me this afternoon are your very vivacious and cerebral journals of the Punch newspapers. Let me start by introducing Adekunle Aliyu, right? Am I right?
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
An absolute honor to host you. And of course, I have Nehemiah Nwosu right here. I got your name.
It's a great honor to be here.
Are you not proud of me?
Very, very proud.
Always an honor to host you. So, if you are ready, let us begin by dissecting some of the biggest news that have emerged on the national scene in the past few days. As what we do on the roundtable is to bring to you the three most topical issues of the week, dissecting, disagreeing, agreeing on some of these issues as we discuss along the way. So today, the three topics are dissecting Tinubu's independence message of hope, vision for Nigeria. And at number 2 is coalition that demands Atiku Obi formalize ADC ties. And at number 3, PENGASSAN signals fresh strike, hints no agreement with Dangote Refinery. And I think, of course, as I have listed them, the very convenient point to start is to not push our national agenda last, but bring it on the front burner and to quickly look at what we may have coming from the recent message of hope from our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to us Nigerians. And I am taking this a little bit personally because I have some data that he reeled out that I want us to begin with today. Yes, it's been 65 years that we actually haven't severed ties, but that we grew wings from our colonial masters, the British colony. And Tinubu is asking us, our President Tinubu is asking us to put Nigeria first, and he highlighted some of the progresses made so far. He said the GDP grew by 4.23% in quarter 2 of 2025, surpassing the IMF projections. Inflation fell to 20.12%, the lowest in 3 years. Non-oil revenue surpassed 20 trillion naira, hitting record highs. Foreign reserves now stand at $42.03 billion, the strongest since 2019. And that Nigeria has recorded trade surpluses for 5 consecutive quarters, with non-oil exports rising sharply. Now, our currency, according to him, also, our currency rate that would be against the dollar is no longer determined by the fluctuation in crude oil prices. There's been so much more, but in my estimation, this would be the summary of the key things I could bring out. I'd like to start with you, Nehemiah, by asking you what you think is most striking about what the President Tinubu said to us yesterday as a fellow Nigerian to other Nigerians, you know.
As a fellow Nigerian, as a patriotic Nigerian.
As a patriotic Nigerian himself.
We continue to wake up every morning, hoping, praying, playing our path, for a better Nigeria.
Absolutely.
A Nigeria that the rate of poverty will be so reduced, and the insecurities around the country, Nigeria will feel safe.
But the president did say the insecurity has...
Nigeria will feel safe. We see what goes around all over the country. We see what goes on all over the country. We cannot really say today that our hope is renewed.
Is it not?
We cannot fully say our hope is renewed. Now,
thank you, Name.
It's like
UK today, there was a killing in the front of a synagogue. I think 2 or 3 people have died there. The government is also giving hope to the people. So dream, because see, this dream we're even saying cannot be created by the dream. Because see, this dream we're even saying cannot the government alone.
Understand that we're also going to his renewed hope. Understand that we're also going to his renewed hope agenda. It's actually coming from somewhere. It's actually coming from somewhere. So if he's selling us hope and then we're saying your manifesto, so if he's selling us hope and then we're saying your manifesto read hope for us, and that we, you know what, wake up, rise up. In the past, we're blaming our colonial masters or something. When do we, at what point, Nehemiah, do you think we should stop blaming the past? President Tinubu is no longer according to the Yoruba proverb, is no longer a visitor in the grave, if in that sense, right? Leaf and soap are joined together.
Our pain. You will make us happy. The things that we suffered before, you will take it away.
See them no more.
You know, keep walking. Keep walking. And this is what I usually say. Yes, you can make a speech. I have done this. I have done that. If there is no visible result, see, the economy is just very, there are ways, there are so many things. What you have injected into the economy, if it is not being seen, if it is not visible, where is the hope? Where is the hope? Where is the source of the hope coming from?
Yeah.
Now, look at the economy. Well, business people can say in that class, elites can say, okay, oh, the policies are working for us. But what about the people below?
Do you mean what about you and I?
What about the people below?
Okay, so
So as at yesterday, there's a news making the round that the price of cooking gas is going up.
absolutely.
So where is the hope?
On Monday, I think I must have stopped by three gas stations before I was finally able to refill, you know, my gas. And it raised a question before I even saw the news.
So these things needs to, you read out these figures. I have done this.
Thank you.
I have given money to.
My bag of rice hasn't changed from how much I bought. I mean, of course, it has come down.
At least let us see.
But at least
let us see 1 naira.
Let us see.
1 naira.
So
1 naira.
which is where I'm going to.
1 naira.
Which
Consistently.
We've been seeing. Consistency will be the question. We've been seeing. It's been coming and going.
Coming and
yes,
going.
and going. Aliyu, so we've had some moves by the president, right, to fix the economy. For example, let's make it easy for the youth to do business. The tax law is also another one in that light. The recent, what do we have with our borders, right?
Yeah.
Whereby we've said, oh, so don't worry, we've actually relaxed some of the, you know, tithe rules against the borders, and you can now do business in this land. I want you to look into some of these issues and bring out for me the real efforts, because it's really important to critique our government, but equally not forget efforts. Because it's really important to critique our government, but equally not forget some of the efforts that have actually been made, right, towards this prosperity that is coming.
So let's look at the student loan scheme. So students can easily apply for loan, and it's going to go a long way. Now, as much as you're going to apply, please also bear in mind that you're going to pay back. So if that cycles keep going on like that, so it becomes succor for some parents to spend money on some other things and do more business. So that's one. Also, let's look at the agriculture. We are buying more machines, more tools to aid farmers, seedling and so on, creating that arable land. Look, we got to farm. In Niger State, the governor is doing marvelous work. So it reminds me of one time when we were having one commissioner that I know in Abakaliki that was also going to rice farming.
Yes.
So they opened that vista so that people can do a lot of farming. We got to feed ourselves as a nation. So if those policies are marshaled out well, in the long run, the nation will smile. Because, you see, I was saying, we only have what kind of cake? Cake made from flowers, isn't it? Have we eaten rice cake before? So we can produce rice to that effect. Have we eaten gari cake before?
Yes,
we can produce to that effect. We can make these things so that when we begin to sell these things internationally, they begin to see that, look, it's our product, it's our creation, so we can start creating that. Also in business, if you go to be a Bank of Industry, Bank of Industry is trying to have money to young entrepreneurs who meet the standard. Now, you're not going to they are not going to give you money to defraud them. No, they're going to give you money to build. So if you have the guts, good. I say something.
But I have issues with that, and let me quickly raise it. And it's because, so we've had issues with government parastatals giving out money. And let me talk to the agricultural loan of a couple of years back There's a very popular one I'm trying to lay my hands on. And one of the things I did at a point was do documentaries across Nigeria. And I recall going to Jigawa State, I guess Kano State, and asking questions as to how these loans, and you know, the loan failed. What was this popular loan? This agric loan.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Is it development bank?
No. There's one given for farming.
Very popular farming loan like
I
that.
try to
And it
remember.
failed. And it failed. And it failed. So I am not as ecstatic at the news of we are giving out loans as I am about the machineries in place to monitor
those growth. Yeah, I must agree with you that look, sometimes these policies are beautiful policies that are channeled from the government. Now, when it comes to marshalling out at a level, those people at that level begin to destroy that marshaled out plan. So we have issues even among ourselves. How we get to take, for instance, now I know of somebody who once worked in school, the guy is in the US now, and he wrote a proposal for an agric project. And when he got to the local government level, and they asked him, which party are you from? Who is backing you? Absolutely. So at that level, you are wrecking that policy. If it becomes because you needing to
because you are aligned with us, or you are not aligned with us,
or you have political affiliation before you get it, that's a problem. But if we can do it, see, I also have issues when we, the agric extension farmers, we're supposed to monitor, check to see this. There was a recent story report about seedlings, people being defrauded by and you have to say, is it not supposed to be the agric extension workers that are supposed to bring you the original seed and sell to you, even if they are going to sell the appropriate one? Why would you defraud
the farmers of seedlings? Thank you so much, Aliyu. Let me quickly take this further this afternoon by saying that we did take to the streets yesterday being Independence Day to ask what Lagosians, Nigerians by extension, have made of the old agenda of our President Bola Tinubu. And I guess part of the question is the prosperity promised. Have you had it? And this is what we had from the streets.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure anybody out there would be happy with the way, with all what is happening in Nigeria right now. I know it might seem as if Nigerians will complain too much, but with the complaining, you won't. There's no smoke without fire. There's no way people will be complaining this much, and meaning is true. People are feeling the heat. Things are not working on fine in so many things. You see most people walking around. Many people are struggling for ends meet and all. That's all. Yes, the government needs to do a lot of things, but I think that's not what we need.
Well, obviously, like you can see,
ńlá tí wọ́n bá ti fún wa tí wọ́n ti bù fún wa nílé ìwé ó ti tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn a dẹ̀ tún pé Nàìjíríà lè ń gbà yẹn o kò sẹ́ni tó lè ṣe tó lè dára àfi Elédùmarè àfàwa pàápàá la lè túnṣe láàrin ara wa níbi ká máa gbówó lé nǹkan fúnra wa ká péjọba ń ṣe tiwọn táwa náà bá tún di tiwa lẹ̀ a tún ràn wá lọ́wọ́ gbogbo la ní láti help ara wa o because kan tí Nàìjíríà ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kọ́nà kó gbàkóso ni.
I believe Nigeria will be better. But as at now, the economy is poor. Nigeria in those days is more better than this. Because Nigeria in those days, people were enjoying his life. Even without work, if you have never get work, you can enjoy yourself. Because things are cheap. And Nigeria economic is good. So at that time, we cannot compare that time with this time around. This time around, things are not okay with the cities, even with the children that are coming, even with the old one that have used the past time when they are from 60s, 70s, till this time. Happy 65 Nigeria.
Nigeria is 65 today, and I'm very, very happy. Let us be a good Nigerian so that we can still have more independence ahead.
Great to know that you're there with us, and this has been the Roundtable. My name is Melanie Ishola. Very quickly, we took you through what some of the citizens of Nigeria have had to say regarding the 65th independence of the nation. But I would like to go very quickly to our second story, and I'm looking at the demands made by the coalition of the ADC to Atiku, Obi, and others within the party to formalize their ties. And let me pick it from the mouth of Dr. Ladan Saliu, a member of the ADC coalition, who said the ADC doesn't have time to waste, which is why we need people to formalize membership. He says this is directed not just at Peter Obi and Atiku, but at other members and of other political parties, separate from the parties that Peter Obi and Abubakar Atiku have come from, and whoever would like to join the ADC. I think it is simple and it is clear. If you are going to be a part of our party, you ought to be done with wherever you are coming from. That looks simple when you look at it, but this is not complicated. Do you understand? Like, it just looks like, yes, now, as it's been stated. You know what we say in mathematics? QED, quite easily done. You're joining my party, this way you're coming. What did you say?
Yeah, it's simple.
Until you discover that it's actually not so simple. Let me allow you.
Okay, it's simple until you discover that it's actually not simple. When Bolaji Abdullahi came, he was on channels, I think about last month or so. You know, he was asked about Peter Obi still remaining in LP and maybe El Rufai in, and he said that there was an agreement. Yes. They were both given a leave. You know, that they had candidates from their respective parties that they are willing to support, that needed them to support them for the upcoming, the one that passed and the ones that are still coming by elections. And it was an agreement. They gave them leave. Now, I think the farthest of the elections is the one in November in Anambra. Yes. And Peter Obi has a candidate. You know, he's supporting that candidate for that election. Now, this message came in September, and we are still going to November. So what changed? That's the question. Okay. What changed?
Well, that's a critical question.
Yes, it's good for everybody to come together, and so that, because there is no time.
Question, Nehemiah, I think another question to quickly counter that is, would the ADC be wrong to say we want full membership?
They are not wrong.
Or not?
You should be able to commit now.
Or never.
Everybody should commit now. So everybody should be on the fence.
Okay. Again, the question is, if
going to play this game.
Now, if I am Peter Obi, and I commit as an ADC member, a card carrying member, on what moral ground we now jump on?
Should the interest of a Peter Obi be more important?
No. It's not just about him. There are other people as well.
Of course, with
it's not just about him.
Yes.
There are other people as well.
Interest,
so as we already had an agreement. If you are saying now, okay, we should formalize. Okay, fine. I want to formalize an ADC card carrying member. Now, I have a candidate that we have already agreed that I am going to support in another party in November. So, how do I jump on the campaign train?
What do you suggest the ADC is saying invariably? What do you think?
No.
If we cannot conclusively say the ADC is saying join now or leave,
never,
then it's okay for us to actually give them a benefit of the doubt.
Because we need to consolidate.
They actually
No. The thing is this. What calculations did they have that when they were making that arrangement? That, okay, we are giving you leave.
What caused the change?
And what caused the change? These are the things that we should ask and look at first. Because it's somehow, you have given me leave to do this. And you know the reason why I am doing this. And you know that he is the leader of the party. He's the leader of the Labour Party. And the party will definitely need their leader.
Would they be committing a grievous crime when they're in one party and they're supporting another person in another party? No, they are not supporting. That's why it's called a coalition.
Yes.
We are of different political parties.
And we are forming
a coalition. So in this coalition, the ADC is saying, okay, now that
hold on. The coalition, The coalition is different from the ADC political party.
We are saying you
that's
are
what we want. We need
that's what I'm saying. So come to ADC, be sure.
Hold on. Hold on. There is a coalition.
Yes.
A coalition, they came together and agreed that, okay, for the 2027 election, there is a vehicle, we are going to be using to run for the 2027 elections, and we have chosen the ADC as this. Now, all of us need.
Is a party.
Is a party, yes.
It would have its own bylaws.
Of course. Now, my question is, the agreement that was reached that they should be granted a leave because of the forthcoming elections in their respective parties. Now, how did they get to that agreement? Now, didn't they think that they will be needing these people to come to, let us just do, there is no time, let's come together, let's do this. As at that time, everybody would have taken their decision, is either ADC or no. So, you can't come and shift the goalpost at the middle of the game.
I don't.
So that's what I think.
I do not think that is what is happening here. While I also raise questions as to where is this coming from. I think when I saw it, that was the first thing that came to mind. Like, where is this coming from? Okay. But I also sat back and figured the coalition came together and said, and from different parties,
of course.
Say, you know what? Just like we've done it in the past. I think that's somewhat like what we know to do best. To pardon the use of demonize a political leader at a point, at an epoch, and say, for the next epoch, we're going to be going for this person. Whether or not we've tested the person, we've done it, Buhari, and we've done it, now we have Tinubu. Maybe that's not what we did. But anyways, we have Tinubu. But the point goes, if we then say we want to come together and put forth so person, we do not yet know what ADC is putting forth. It wasn't until this morning when Atiku said he's happy for anybody who wins the primaries of the ADC. If it's a youth, if it's a woman, it's just because they've seen that the posture of ADC is somewhat towards the youth and women. Inclusion, basically.
Of course.
Has he even gotten a card of ADC?
So Atiku, for example, is yet not carrying.
He's not a carrying member yet of the party.
Of the ADC. Would they be wrong? And that's where I'm coming from. I saw the rhetoric of why is the ADC shifting, but I equally figured. So if you are for me, let me know. Because if you are not for me, let me also know.
Yes. The thing, what I am saying, get my point. My point is this: it is right for the ADC to say, if you are for me, let me know. If you are not for me, let me know. Yes, nothing is wrong. It's absolutely not wrong. Now, but for the fact that the same ADC had an initial arrangement. What they should have.
Are we new to arrangements shifting in politics?
No. But this one is somehow. Now, where do you leave the governorship candidates for the LP in the forthcoming Anambra election?
Are you saying there's no other way Peter Obi could have handled?
So is it
the
is the arrangement
no
without being in the
truth is no other way.
Is the arrangement only
no other way?
No.
Now hold on. ADC has a candidate in the forthcoming Anambra elections. Peter Obi is a member of the coalition that have decided to adopt ADC as the vehicle to run the 2027 elections. Now he's not campaigning for the ADC candidate in Anambra elections. He's campaigning for the LP because he still remains in the LP, and there's an agreement in the coalition that
he will be in the LP until he has delivered the November
after the November elections.
They will not ADC as a political party, as of course we know that political parties are about their own perpetuation. So
of course,
shouldn't the ADC also seek ways to increase their chance? For example, even if in the case of the November by-election, this is what we are talking about. Now you know that your party, as a political party, will run in the next election in Anambra. And this is one of the leaders of the other political parties that has come together in the coalition. And you have him. And his party is running for election in that same state. What they should have done, what that I think is, why made
make that arrangement?
When
you can all come together and decide, is it for you to now come together, maybe run on ADC,
Jeremiah,
or ADC come together,
Jeremiah,
support
you
LP?
Are doing this
and
because you want obedient or you are unobedient? Is
no,
that
no,
what,
no,
so
no, no,
is
no,
it,
no,
hold on,
no,
okay, hold on.
no,
Is it called,
because
I'd rather not accuse
no,
me.
I'm asking the question.
because
so
because
not, hold on.
hold on, because if you read the statement,
you should also know that
if you read the
call
statement,
is not only for obedience.
no,
it's not only for
you don't get it. I understand.
So whatever goalpost
As
the
much
party is saying, if you are
as much
in
as
the party,
as much
put
as
your 2 legs in it.
as much as I
out of
understand,
it, take off your leg.
see, we are shifting focus away from
No.
what happened initially. This is a bigger question.
I wanted our focus to be on the bigger question. I had allowed us have that conversation so that we can bring up right, the issues that this has already, unraveled. But a bigger question for me would then be, if the ADC seem to be bickering over this agreement, reneging on agreement, and this some sort of issues at the point where, quite frankly, not all the legs of the people who are supposed to be in. What then becomes of the ability of the ADC an anti-establishment political party to actually gain the trust?
Thank you.
And go into the next election with some hope.
This is it.
So that's what the party is saying now.
Hope
that
for the masses to say, see, we have another formidable force. Whether or not we have an option between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and another political party, or another candidate, or another vehicle who is actually able to deliver on bringing in a new president. I think this is a question for our democracy. I think this is not just a question for a party. I think it is not pedestrian. I think it's a question of why do coalitions of political parties come together and they bicker? And maybe we need to look at how our politics is done.
Now, if you even look at this coalition,
we agree to agree, we disagree also to agree. So in these processes, so if the ADC discover that look, some people are getting cold feet and they want to put out their leg, so what do you think the party should do?
Now hold on, we must understand that this is not a coalition of political parties.
No, it's not. It's individuals who are
so this is why he's a bit
you also
tricky.
look at the bigger picture. They look, pack my eggs in one basket now for my safety. So bring your eggs in my basket for me. If you're
because
not,
this is not, Mr. Ali, hold on, because this is not a coalition of political parties. That is why it's a bit tricky. This is a coalition of concerned individuals. Coming together to say, let us do this, let us do this. It is not a coalition, or if it is a coalition of political parties, there will be ultimatums. Yes. Okay, everybody will come. Everybody will come together as at this time, resolve whatever you want to resolve in your respective parties, and we are drawing the line at this particular time, and everything will just happen like that. So, because I
want us to conclude and move on. So. Peter Obi has to do what the coalition is asking, or not, and that's
of course,
or not. I'll leave it to you first.
It depends.
Okay, for you, I think it's bound.
I won't say it's bound because number one, we've not heard from him as regards all this.
For me, the question is he a part of the coalition still? Yes.
Of course,
if he's a part of the coalition still, and their vision for coming together holds any water, I think it's great for the leadership of Labour Party in Anambra State to find a way to make the party work for the November election, so that we have some sanity for the call that we've had. That's my thought. So
I think well, maybe until he comes out to say something.
But this is what
definitely this is what they have said. Until he comes out to say something, so we wait.
Thank you.
I don't want us to make this only Peter Obi's.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't just. There are other people.
So you get what about Atiku?
Atiku has resigned from the PDP.
Is it SDP actually expelled?
Is it
who?
No.
It's not. No. Atiku was a member of the PDP, so he resigned from the PDP. As we speak, Atiku is not a member of any political party whatsoever in Nigeria.
That is what you say. Without him,
as we speak,
but you know the ADC machinery is
hold on.
So he's behind
no. We cannot.
That's what we have.
We cannot expressly say that
that's
the ADC coalition is Atiku's creation. No. A lot of people came together.
I don't think think I know yet if the ADC
Following
coalition is
his-
Atiku's.
No, no, no.
Because I don't think it was the
As
best-
far as the information that we have and everything we have seen, we cannot expressly say that the ADC coalition is a
Atiku's
formation. No.
It is the formation of quite a number of people.
A lot of people.
As much as I agree with
and they have been and they have been in it for over.
Gentlemen, I am moving to our last story of the day, and it's none other than the, if I use contentious, you would understand, and the issues of the embattled 800 members of staff at the Dangote refineries who were sacked after joining a nationwide, I beg your pardon, that was sacked, which then led to the call for a nationwide strike by all oil workers. Now, PENGASSAN says there may just be a fresh strike, and they also hint that there was no agreement with Dangote Refinery. Now, as I've hinted, as the 8,000 members of staff of Dangote, was it 8,000 or 800?
800.
Is it 800? Am I saying 8,000? I guess that was why I'm checking with myself.
800.
800, I beg your pardon. I got you. 800, I beg your pardon. But then to look at also how the PENGASSAN has come to say that it is the enslavement of the Nigerian workers for the Dangote Refinery to go as far as replacing them with 2,000 non-Nigerian workers, foreign nationals, right? To make a bold statement. And a lot of people would say some of the challenges the Dangote Refinery has faced in its operation up until this moment is actually primarily based on some of the anti-private sector in oil sector coalition who are working to frustrate, right, the refinery, Dangote Refinery in Nigeria. But for whatever it's worth, it is a different question for the private sector to take a loss, and it is a different question for the public sector in the oil economy to take a loss. So far, Reuters reported that oil output plunged by 16% during the brief
3 days
Dangote refinery strike, just for Dangote. 16%. And that's very phenomenal. And that's why I want us to have this conversation this afternoon, I beg your pardon. What do you think really is amiss here? What is the bone of contention? What is at the very bottom of this? Well, to an average Nigerian, it will be a case of, so yes, Dangote is doing what the government has struggled to do for quite a number of years. Recently, we had the issue of Kiari being called for question or not on grounds that we should have the Port Harcourt refinery working by now. The markets are out there. We still don't have anything. What really is the bone of contention? Let me start with you, Nehemiah.
I think, well, like I always say, this is one of the issues that we usually talk about. For a lot of years, it has taken the country several years to fix our refineries. You know, they have spent a lot of money, even to the extent of calling the head of the NNPC to come and say, where is the money? These refineries are not working yet. And we have a working refinery in the country, be it private
or public.
It is a working refinery. Personally, I have said this should be something that the federal government of Nigeria, should be happy about, to support and protect and do everything they can, because since the Dangote refinery came up, we've seen what has happened.
Improvements,
long queues, those things have they are gradually disappearing, and you will give it to the Dangote refinery. So if I am to be a leader in the country as we speak, I will do everything.
But as a leader,
to
would you not be
protect.
concerned about the question of monopoly, which I think may also be
the thing
one
is
of
this.
the issues.
The thing is this. Monopoly or no monopoly, some people in government has to give you that power to monopolize. If there are no person in government that is giving you that power to monopolize, it won't happen.
By saying power to monopolize, not like the power that was called and power was given to him, but by failure of certain issues.
This is what I'm saying. Dangote is not the only rich.
Absolutely.
He's not the only rich man
Absolutely.
in Nigeria. We saw this man's Rabiu's effort in trying to, and there are other people too trying one or two things too. Are they well, the question is, I don't know, I am not sure. Are they getting the enabling environment to make those things happen, and the rest of them?
But I
so
think some of us would agree that Dangote has been enabled to make Dangote refinery work.
So those are the things. Then one thing that doesn't go boils down with me is the issue of the welfare of workers.
Okay, and that's where I'm taking it to. Thank you. I want us to talk to the welfare of workers, which I think is crucial to this conversation. So, for example, so if Dangote says you cannot join union to go on this strike and do all of these things, is Dangote wrong?
No, he's not wrong. He's not. But also, because of what we are losing as a country from this strike, I think they need to come to the table and just give room for one another. Because as much as the workers have rights to join, so also when you're coming and you sign an agreement that you're not going to join, you're also breaking that agreement you have signed ab initio. So if you know you want to join union and say you won't join, don't join their company. But you join their company and you're going behind to sabotage them. So that's a problem. So the company will see that sabotage. So they have a right to fight you with everything they have. So before coming, you should know what you want to do. And that's why I think they should come and settle this matter amicably. It can't be by force.
Of course. Of course.
But now that PENGASSAN has said the federal government, having already meddled in the matter, isn't ending the matter, or seem not to be ending the matter, as there was no signed agreement.
Yeah.
And they are already saying, and notice I don't think there's a threat, that there may just be another strike soon. What do you think? Because I was listening to a radio commentary where it was said the same PENGASSAN prevented Dangote from taking over a couple of years, I think it was under Obasanjo, from taking over the Nigerian refineries. You recall that was when Dangote started issuing interest in, in the oil economy in Nigeria, right? And that what exactly do we have that PENGASSAN is sitting on, and it seems like this is a calculated attack against Dangote's refining in Nigeria.
So we have a constitution, we have a court. Let's go to court and sort it out.
Why do you like court?
Thank you.
There's no need to twist the economy, because we're losing as a nation. We're losing. Dangote as a businessman is losing. Those sacked who are losing one way or the other. But let's go to court. Let's interpret our constitution and tell ourselves fairly well. Do you have rights to unionization? Don't you have rights? Should they amputate you before coming to work in a company or not? So if you see an agreement, what do you run from?
The rule of law is there to set things right.
We are modeling everything up because he has rights. Yeah. But to an extent, the right is not absolutely.
Thank you so much, Adekunle Aliyu. Thank you so much, Nehemiah Nwosu. The questions abound, quite frankly. Then we have time to practically do a very good job of looking at, especially on the third story that we've taken today. But then the government has meddled. Question is, what more can the government do? Or most importantly, to ask whether or not the citizens are not looking at the issue at hand as just some ordinary Nigerians taking the fall for the struggles of the elites in the economy. My name is Melanie Ishola. This much we can take on the roundtable today. Next week, we'll return again with another thought-provoking edition of the roundtable. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining.